This guy is abysmal, bruv. Like, I've never seen anything like it in my life. For someone, and you know why what makes it worse, ST, is that you went to West Brom, you scored goals. You were at Everton, you banged goals. Even your first season at United was decent. Bro, you came back to Chelsea, said unfinished business, said I'm back where I belong, saying I'm looking to win this and win that, bro. And you've gone back to with your tail between your legs back to Inter Milan. Are you having a laugh, bro? Like,
Spartans! What is your profession?
yes, people, another edition of Knightz Roundtable Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guy ST in the building. How you doing, sir?
Oh, all good, man. Just enjoying the times. Just enjoying the summer break as much as we can. Trying not to think about Man United. I mean,
listen, we that's stress. That's stressful. We don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't. Listen, I told people. I done told you already. This season is all about Juventus for me. United is a stress that I don't need in my life. Honestly,
I would say Sevilla as well, but Sevilla are jokers as well, bro.
Oh, bro, all you lot are doing is selling, bro. Selling, like, how you lot are holding Koundé hostage is amazing to me.
Diego Carlos is gone. I was annoyed about that, but I knew to go for much. Koundé will be going soon. Well, yeah, we want him to stay. Bro, we're finishing Europa League, bro.
I hear that. Well, people, you know what time it is. I've already said it. It's 40 chat, but a little bit different. We're just going to be going through the current transfers that have taken place. So it's our transfer update show. We're going to be talking about the big transfers that have transpired since the last time we were on. Really, obviously, we started off talking about Haaland and Darwin Núñez and Tchouaméni, and now we're going to be getting into the other players that have been going from club to club as we reach we're getting into the midpoint of the transfer window. But as usual, before we start, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up, as I say all the time. Share. We are here, and don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. Before we start, currently the Women's Euros has started, so good luck to all the women playing, all the countries. People, you know how ST and I stay. We're not going to say it, but we know who we don't want to win. But big up to all the women watching the football, and it's great exposure for them as well, bro. Like, I think they're on right now. I think England are currently winning 1-0, and they've sold out Old Trafford. I think the whole tournament is sold out. So that's big, bruv, considering that I heard that the Super League attendance plateaued. So hopefully these Euros give more exposure to women's football. Obviously, people will start watching more of the Super League, and with that generates more revenue. Because obviously, at the end of the day, women love football just as much as men do. So they should get the support, and they should get the eyes on them, which they deserve, especially with there being no men's international tournament during this time. But anyway, as we are going to get into the transfer window, ST, we're going to start off with the news that broke. Probably people, obviously, you're going to get this tomorrow, but let's talk about the news that just broke for us now, and that is Raheem Sterling to Chelsea. It has been said that he's agreed personal terms with Chelsea. A fee is expected to be agreed and announced by Man City within the next 48 hours. It's been an ongoing story. We've heard that he's only got a year left on his contract. Pep said he doesn't want to keep unhappy players. Raheem Sterling seemed to have fallen out of the first team at Manchester City, and it makes sense. Also, obviously us being from ends, obviously we talk to people, we know that he has wanted to come back to London since last year.
Wow, yeah.
But bro, what do you think? Because obviously cooking with Rash ain't here. Obviously he is the Chelsea fan, but bro, I've been getting mixed reviews from what I've seen from Chelsea fans. And I've also been getting mixed reviews from Man City fans. He's one of these players that divides opinion, because you've got a lot of Man City fans that are like, yeah, he can go. Like, it is what it is. Some of them are like, you need to put a little bit more respect on his name. And then you got the Chelsea fans, they're basically saying that, do we want him? Not really. And then the other Chelsea fans are like, oh, it's good signing. Like how do you see this transfer? Is it good for Chelsea? Is it better for Man City, or is it good for the both of them?
It's kind of good, it's good for both of them in the sense that I think that because I think that for Sterling, it's weird to say this, and you might be thinking Sellers crazy, but the system in a way at Man City doesn't suit him. If you understand what I'm trying to say, it's a weird stance on what I'm saying. Yes, Guardiola's got him thinking about the way him getting into the box and scoring on the back post. However, the way Guardiola is playing, he's not creating chances like that for his strikers to go in from to go into the post. And I think that Guardiola's football slightly has changed, and it's not helped Raheem in any certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Raheem's best attributes is when he's dribbling with the ball. And he will get more license, I think, to do that at Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, it's a decent signing for Chelsea. My issue is I don't know who's going to supply him with the crosses. Maybe Reece James, but you can't only rely on Reece James to do that. You need I don't think Kovacic will do it. Kante obviously won't be able to do it. Havertz maybe, but you can't really rely on him. Werner, you can't really rely on him. They need, if you're going to buy someone like Sterling, you need like another number 10, if you understand what I mean. Supply him with,
yeah.
If you want him to do that, because if not, then Raheem's gonna have to get back to dribbling for him to be really effective. And that's my opinion. It's catch-22. Like, I get why Raheem wants to go back, because obviously we know we live in ends, and it will be good his friends are down here, you know what I'm saying? He knows he doesn't have to really adjust, even though he's been living up north for a long time now. But what I'll say is I think it's a good move for him, but Chelsea need to buy someone to supply him with these opportunities. If not, then Raheem will have to go back to default and dribbling. And on the catch-22, you won't get the finishing or the running in beside the box, which he's known for nowadays, getting goals and stuff like that. So usually I'm quite forward with my opinions, but I don't know about this one, if I'm being honest.
Now, look, at the end of the day, as I said, divides opinion. I believe that it is a good signing for Chelsea. I think that it's someone that they need because, all right, you look at it, they've got Pulisic, they've got Ziyech, they've got Hudson-Odoi, obviously Lord Mason Mount can play out wide as well. They haven't got that dribbler. They haven't got that player that likes to run in behind. And I think that's what they will get with Sterling. Obviously, Werner's Werner, like, bruv, he's just a utility player, bruv. Like, you can't score goals. You can run in behind, but he's not a dribbler either. So I think that's kind of why Chelsea want him. They want him for the dribbling, for the running in behind. And they're hoping that obviously with Sterling's tutelage under Pep, he's now got that footballing brain and he can move aside from Man City and operate somewhere else and still provide the performances and the goals that he has done at Man City. I think where the apprehension comes from is, will he go back to being the Raheem Sterling of Liverpool, bruv, where he was not a thinking footballer and his finishing was abysmal, even though his finishing is even great now, let's be honest. If he's not tapping in, bro, it's very rare that he hits a ball clean. But yeah, will he go back to that Raheem Sterling that didn't really use his brain? Also, under Tuchel, he doesn't play the kind of football that Pep plays. So will he be able to get the best out of Raheem Sterling? I think he can, but it's a question. What you said about the crosses, obviously, I think Chelsea, when you look at them, if Tuchel persists with the three at the back, then it's only natural that the crosses will come in from Reece James and Ben Chilwell, which will be good because we know Reece James is a good crosser of the ball, so is Ben Chilwell. So in that sense, it can work. There's rumours that Tuchel might use him as a false nine. Never really liked him in that position for Man City, to be honest. I don't really like him in that. He's not a false nine. I don't think he's intelligent enough to be a false nine. And he doesn't cause enough problems to be a false nine. But look, I don't look. I think it's a gain for Chelsea, but I don't think City lose anything. So that's why I think it's a win-win for both football clubs in that aspect. I think it gives Chelsea something that they don't have. And with Man City, it's just like, yeah, you're probably, the only thing you're probably losing from Raheem Sterling is the raw pace. He's probably the one with the raw pace, because when you look at the rest, no one's got that. And that was one of the issues, even though they won the league back-to-back. I think it was one of the issues with City is that because they lost Leroy Sané, Sterling was the only one with that raw pace in behind, whereas when you had Sterling and Sané, it was chaos. But man, I think listen, at the end of the day, man got 131 goals and 94 assists for Manchester City. So we know that Chelsea are definitely getting a player that knows the Premier League, knows how to score, and he's been there since Liverpool days. So we can only see what happens with Chelsea and Raheem Sterling. Obviously, people, as we said, all we can say is that personal terms have been agreed. A fee will be agreed later, but he hasn't signed for them. But it looks like that's a transfer that's going to go ahead. But speaking of Chelsea going out and leaving Chelsea, they've had an abundance of players. Obviously, Rudiger signed for Madrid, Christensen signed for Barcelona. I don't know if Aspilicueta's situation has been sorted out at all.
Sure.
But, bruv, the fat man has left Chelsea. He has gone back to Serie A. He has gone back to Inter Milan. He has gone back to the team where he did win his only trophy. Look, in Mark Henry's defense, right? He didn't want to leave Inter. He did not want to leave Inter. He wanted to stay, but unfortunately, they couldn't give him the pay increase he wanted, and the money that came in was too good to turn down. Right? Decided that he's gone back there on loan. I told people when he came that I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I just said the normal stuff, bruv. He won't score against the top six. That's what I said. This guy decided that he didn't want to score against anybody. So, you know what I mean? He's probably the worst. Like, people talk about Labille being one of the worst signings brought back, bruv, which is absolutely disgraceful. But this guy is abysmal, bruv. Like, I've never seen anything like it in my life. For someone, and you know why what makes it worse, ST, is that you went to West Brom, you scored goals. You were at Everton, you banged goals. Even your first season at United was decent. Bro, you came back to Chelsea, said unfinished business, said I'm back where I belong, saying I'm looking to win this and win that, bro. And you've gone back with your tail between your legs back to Inter Milan. Are you having a laugh, bro? Like, back to Serie A. And listen, as we say, there's other leagues out there, bar the Premier League, but Serie A isn't what it was in the 90s. We get that. So, bro, my whole thing is that you're going back to a league where you know it's easy. You know that you're just going to bang goals, apart from against the big teams, because apart from AC Milan, you didn't score against Juve. You didn't really score against Napoli. I don't think he scored against Roma as well. That's just on the top of my head.
No, I think he scored against Napoli. I don't think he scored against Roma.
Okay, yeah, he did. He scored against AC. He bang goaled against AC.
Yeah, I think he did slightly better in the big games there, but the
standard's not great.
Yeah,
but he has gone back. So, ST, my question to you is, it's got nothing to do with Inter Milan. Is the fat man now done in the Premier League? He can't come back to the Premier League, bruv. Like, obviously, first things first, obviously, with Chelsea, it's broken down. It's not going to happen. But say, for example, he went back to Inter, then 3 years later, he said he wanted to come back to the Premier League. Who's going to take him back, bruv, after that performance? It's shambolic, bruv.
No. Oh, man, Lukaku, man.
People. Lukaku's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't know by now, bruv, you haven't watched this thing enough.
Yeah. I don't know what any team would. In his mind, he thinks that
Deluded.
very, very, very deluded. He thinks that okay, he's not going to come back to Man United. That's obvious. We don't want him here. Chelsea is done. The only clubs that he thinks that he can probably get is probably Man City in his head. I'm not saying he's in his head. It's the only club he'll probably go for, Man City, or that's it, or not even Arsenal, because he's basically, unfortunately, when it comes to technique and stuff like that, that's the one thing will always let him down, and it's sad because, and I don't even think in Inter Milan he's going to do that great.
Well, the league's changed.
The league's changed. It's going to be a lot harder. He may not even play in front of Dzeko. Dzeko is a good striker still. He may not get the starts he wants.
And Conte's not there either. Let's not forget that.
Not there. Right. He said he's spoken to Inzaghi during the whole of his time at Chelsea, but I've seen Inzaghi manage. He's quite ruthless. So if he doesn't see you're playing well, he won't like put a arm around him like Conte did. I mean, if he actually, you know what? Tell a lie. If Lukaku was to go back to the Premier League, there's only one team he'd go to, wherever Conte is, and that's Tottenham.
That's the
only team. That's the only team that would accept him.
You're right.
But apart from that, no. It's probably one of the worst comebacks I've seen in Premier League history.
It is the worst. It is the worst.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. And
it is the worst.
Like
8 goals, bruv. They spent 100 mil.
And it's not even so much the goals. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah. Strikers or forward players, I know myself. We go through. Sometimes it's very hard you go through dips in form. If you're going through dips in form, what's the best thing to do? Your first touch has to be important. You're linking up the play. Actual basic ball manipulation has to be your vocal point. Obviously, goals are very important, but if that's not working, you have to at least complement the team. Almost like when he was playing, he gave up. He is so frustrated that Tuchel didn't play to his strengths. He didn't want to adapt to the manager's strengths, the manager's philosophy as well. Like he said, his touch wasn't great. He wasn't breaking lines. He wasn't doing intelligent runs, which, to be fair, one thing I'll give Lukaku credit for, his runs are quite intelligent. But he wasn't even doing that at Chelsea. And now I know he's like, when he's on form, I'm not saying he's a good player. I don't think he's a good player, but he wasn't even doing that, and I think he's just given up. You know, to be honest,
he tapped out.
Yeah, he's not loyal. He is not loyal.
These hoes are loyal, bruv.
Exactly.
That is Lukaku, bruv.
Yeah.
He's not loyal. There's no loyalty to anything, bruv. Bruv, man threw his toys out the pram because the manager had a philosophy and he couldn't adapt to it. Because what you need to understand about Lukaku is, bro, he is a pace and power merchant. If he cannot bully defenders and run past defenders, he's literally useless, bruv. And Tuchel doesn't want to play that way. Tuchel wants to play press high, possession-based football, where you can play into the vocal point, but also play in behind, bruv. Mix it up. You can't play into Lukaku's feet because he trips up over them. You can't play it in the air because he can't do flick-ons, he can't do headers. You can't play it into him because he's got the touch.
He's got the touch of the donkey.
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say he's got the touch of the donkey.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, you know what I mean, bruv? And it's one of them ones, bruv, like, where even if you put him in front of goal, imagine the biggest problem for Lukaku was when he was in front of goal against the big teams and playing against the big teams, he froze. Now, man, was freezing against teams like Southampton and Norwich, bruv. Like, that's disgraceful. That is disgraceful. And the fact that you've basically said that you want to go back to Serie A because you want to go back to playing the Veronas and the Genoas and the Sassuolos of this world so you can stat pad is ridiculous. You don't want to test yourself against the best. You don't want to try and achieve the best that you can. You just want to feel loved. Listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel loved. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But my whole thing is a player that has the confidence that he has and is deluded as he has, saying that he should be playing for the Real Madrids and the Barcelonas and the Bayern Munichs of this world. Bro, you just proved why they didn't want you and why you shouldn't be playing for them, because you're not good enough. You are not good enough. You got away with things because you were the biggest player in the playground on the football field. And now that you're having to use your brain and you're having to use intelligence and you're having to adapt, you can't do it. So, bro, listen, I want to see what he does in Serie A this season, because AC Milan have tooled up. Obviously, we're going to get into Juve and them tooling up. Napoli might be on the decline. I'll speak about that second. Obviously, Maureen's going to be looking to buy as well. So it's not going to be as easy as people think it is. But you know what he thinks in his mind? He thinks, let me go back there on loan. Inter just lost the league. I'm going to go back there and win it for them. And if he does, then credit to him. If he finishes top goal scorer in Serie A and he wins the Serie A title back for Inter, then you got to give him a little bit of credit, because he's done what they couldn't do the last season. Oh, but if he doesn't, but if he doesn't, he's finished. He is finished. I'm telling you now, this guy better get his P45 and head down to like Wildstone, bruv. Start playing for them in that semi-pro team, bruv.
Listen, they got ballers out there, you know.
Yeah, I know, bruv. They got better ballers than him, bruv. But listen, we'll see what happens with the fat man in Serie A, bruv. But that is it. The fat man has gone back on loan to Inter Milan. ST, I wanted to get into the Battle of North London, bruv, because we saw that Arsenal, their first major signing, I know they made other signings, but no one cares about those. Arsenal's first big signing, Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City for 45 million. They said it's a long-term deal. I would assume that means it's a 5-year deal. How do you see that signing, bro? Before I say what I want to say, how do you see that signing? Do you think it's a good signing for Arsenal, or do you think that Gabriel Jesus has taken a step backwards just so that he can play regular football?
I think that he's obviously taken a step backwards. Like, Man City and Arsenal are not on the same radar in terms of technical or team. However, I think it's a very shrewd signing by Arsenal, if I'm being very honest. I do think Gabriel Jesus will add a lot to the team, especially if he could play that false nine and get in the box and stuff like that. I think he would do very well for us. It's the sort of signing that Arsenal need, if you understand what I mean. Just the right caliber, especially in the situation that they are. They can't attract the best players, but they're building like a little Brazilian place thing there. I think that will help, if you understand what I mean. And obviously he knows the league. It's a very, you know what, I can't criticize that signing. Like, obviously there's potential for it not to bang, because Jesus is not really a finisher like that, but he will get you goals. He knows a lot of the players as well, so he won't find it hard to settle in. I think it's good business, if I'm being very honest. He has, like I said, you have players that speak the language. He would probably know London coming down from Manchester stuff, because these boys have like Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel, and all these guys. So Edu, I think these guys have similar agents and all that stuff like that. So I think in terms of actual business, I think that's a very smart buy by Arsenal, if I'm being honest.
No, listen, I agree with you. I think it's a very good signing. I think that, as you said, he knows the league. Being at Manchester City, bro, I think the one thing that it does bring to them, he's won things. So he knows how to win things. Obviously, four Premier League titles, 4 League Cups, and FA Cup, he's won things. And the one thing that Arsenal's dressing room lacks is winners. Yeah. So I think he'll bring that, even if he's only at the age of 25, bruv. Like, he's won things. He knows how to win. Obviously, playing under Pep, knows Arteta as well, because obviously Arteta was putting out cones for Pep and that. Probably understands what Arteta's trying to do in terms of the philosophy As you said, he can score goals. People seem, and like people throwing shade at Arsenal, and I don't know why, because people seem to forget before that Gabriel Jesus signed for Manchester City, everyone wanted him. United were linked with him. Obviously, City were linked with him. Arsenal were linked with him. I think Real Madrid had a flutter on him as well. So a lot of teams were linked with him before he signed for Manchester City, right? So people need to respect this guy. He scores goals, bro. I think I wrote it down. Hold on, wait, bear with me. 58 goals and 32 assists for Manchester City. I think it's in like 130 something games or whatever. And you got to take into the consideration that he was behind Aguero in terms of starting, played out of position most of last season. So like you've got to respect what he's done, and obviously he can play along the line. He said he's a number 9. So obviously anything that was said from Pep last season obviously wasn't true. He wants to play a number 9. He will, because I mean, let's be honest, his competition is frigging Eddie Murphy and KOTRTD. It's not a challenge. So
listen, I love my Ghana boy, yeah.
No, bruv, Eddie Murphy is dead food, bruv. And the thing is, Arsenal are building a nice team. Obviously, you're gonna have Saka one side, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Partey. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, I mean, if it is him. I mean, we still don't know if it was him, but
it could be Xhaka. You never know. But
it could be Xhaka. I think the truth is hoping it's Xhaka. But
we're not getting cancelled today. No.
And then obviously you got the Tierney's and the Tomiyasu. So I think it's a very bright team. It's a very good team. I still think at centre back, Gabriel, absolutely brilliant, bruv. I think he just needs a partner. The Seaside Senderos doesn't cut it for me, bruv. Like at all. What's his name? What's the other one? Rob Holding, bruv. Like he's dead food as well. Like, so I think they need a centre back. They probably, if they can get the Tielemans deal over the line as well, I think that's massive. Why we're not going in for him, I don't know.
Let's not talk
about it. But we're not going to talk about United because we're not trying to depress ourselves. Yeah. But yeah, brother, it's looking very, very good for Arsenal right now, brother. And I think that's a very good signing. 45 mil as well. I know he only had a year. Did he only have a year left? He had a year left. So people will think, oh, that's a lot of money. But I think from what you're getting, the age that he is, the fact that he's a winner, he can score goals, will fit in straight away into the system. I think it's good business from Arsenal. And then when you go over to the white side of North London, bro, obviously what they're doing, I know they signed Basuma. Again, why we didn't go in for him, I don't know. Yep. But obviously Basuma's there. But 60 M's, your Perisic on a free, Fraser Forster on a free as well. But Richarlison, 60 million. ST, bro. I don't know. Let me tell you why. It's not the player. It's the money paid for him, bruv. Agreed. I don't think he's worth 60 M's. No. But what I will say, right, and this is trying to be positive, he's a Conte type player. He's on that shithousery. He's on that running into the ground. He's on that winding up players. He's on that win at all costs mentality. So it is a Conte signing. He is a Conte type of player, bruv. Him and Conte will get on very well, and I think Conte will get the best out of him. You've also got to take into consideration the two clubs that this guy's been at. He's been at Watford, who were relegated, and he's been at Everton that nearly got relegated. I know he had a good season under Ancelotti when he was there, but on a whole, bruv, it's been a dead team that he's been playing at. And man's scored 58 goals and 19 assists between those two clubs. So you've got to realise that if he can do that in these poor clubs, what can he do for an up-and-coming club, a club that's always battling for top 4 in Tottenham? The reason why I have an issue now with the price tag is 2 reasons. A, I don't think he's that good a player. B, why have you paid 60 million for a guy that's going to be on the bench? Because he's not getting in the head of sugarcane. And Richarlison himself says, I want to play down the middle. He's not going to get in the sugarcane. He's not going to get in the head of Son. And the way how Kulusevski
that guy
played
is a
last
baller.
season,
That guy
he's
is
not going to get
insane.
in a Kulusevski. He
How
might get
have
in
you not brought
eventually.
him back to
Bro,
Juventus?
listen, don't upset.
How?
Do you know what it is? No,
How?
wait. Do you know what it is? You know what it is, bro. Listen, we're working on that Neymar deal. Don't worry. We're working on that Neymar deal, bro. Don't worry.
I hear it, but like, listen, like
I know.
Kulusevski was balling out for you as well, bro. It's not like,
bro. Remember when he went on loan and the truth was like, oh, I don't
you were
rate him. I'm
pissed.
like, bro, I was fuming because I
You
knew
were
how
pissed.
good this guy was, bro. I knew how this guy was, but bro, we're working on a
Well,
Neymar deal.
yeah,
Shh.
okay,
Neymar.
okay.
But yeah, so
You
I
move in
can't see him
silence,
get.
yeah.
Huh?
You move in silence, yeah.
Yeah, we're moving in silence, bro. Don't
Okay,
worry.
okay.
When the thing comes out, bro, no party all day. But listen, yeah, Kulusevski, like obviously I would have loved to have taken him back at Juve, but we didn't. But bro, the way how these three are playing, how's Richarlison going to get in that team, bro? So that's why I'm against it. Let me know your thoughts, bro.
Bro, like, you know what it is? It's the market that we're in. But even that, he's not worth more than Jesus, if I'm being very honest. Like, for me personally, don't get me wrong, he starts ahead of Jesus in the Brazilian team. But he's the, for me, Jesus is better technically, slightly better technically. Richarlison's good player, but it's too much money. And the thing is, yeah, would he be happy staying on the bench? However, I don't think Conte, he won't have it from Conte. I don't think Conte will have it from him. I think, yes, I think they will get along well, but I think that Richarlison could probably accept the fact that he's not going to start over Kane. I think he's not going to start over Son. It's going to be him versus Kulusevski, and for balance, I'm sorry, Kulusevski has to be in that team because he is the creator. Like, that's the sort of player you need. Like, I wouldn't start him over. I wouldn't start him over Richarlison because it doesn't make sense. Like, you've got Kane. If that's the case, then Kane will be dropping back into like the 10. You got Son creating chances, and then Richarlison, his finishing isn't watertight, so they'd be missing a lot more chances. I think that it's a very good signing to bring on off the bench, but you have to start Kulusevski, Son, and Kane, man. Like,
bro, squad depth, you're 100% because I think for the last season, Spurs they just got very lucky. Sugarcane didn't get that regular ankle injury that he gets because with last 2 seasons, I think they've gone without no backup striker. So I get it for squad depth. It makes sense, bro. Across that front line, obviously Bergwijn is on his way to Ajax. I think they're wrong. They should have got rid of Lucas Moura and not Bergwijn, but he's on Ajax 30 M's. But obviously, when you look at it, they got Son, Kane, Kulusevski. Then you look at the bench, they're gonna have Lucas Moura. They're gonna have Richarlison there, bro. And obviously, we don't know yet what role Perisic is gonna play. Is he going to play left wing back, or is he another one that's going to be in that front line? We don't know yet. So
I think he'll play wing back.
But obviously there's still cover in the areas that are there. So when you look at it from that perspective, you're like, Spurs have definitely gone for squad depth here. But the key thing that you said, bruv, and the key thing that people need to listen to, people see signings, and they think back to the 90s and the 2000s of football, where all you had to do was put the best players in a team and they will shell. And we saw with Real Madrid and the Galacticos that it didn't work, bro. And it's not going to work now, bro, because football has become more system-based and it's all about style. So you put in Son, Kane, and Kulusevski, you got the balance. Son and Kulusevski on the counter-attack. It means that Kane can drop deep and play the ball in behind. But also what you get with that is those two are going to work back. Richarlison will do the same thing. The difference is Richarlison probably won't assist as much, and Richarlison's quality isn't as good, and he'll miss more chances. That is the difference. So when you put Richarlison, Son, and Kane in the same team, it doesn't work the same. Also, you got to remember Kulusevski's left-footed. So that gives you that element as well, where Richarlison's right-footed.
Right-footed, exactly. And then
well, Son's both-footed, but obviously predominantly right. And then Sugarcane, do you know what I mean?
Sugarcane can hit two-footed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But But this is it. So balance is key here. So I think it's a great signing in terms of squad depth for Tottenham, but I just don't see Richarlison walking into that team. But then again, we could say, as we said, him and Conte will get on, and they could be something special. So he might just walk into it and prove us wrong. We don't know. But ST, who's going to be laughing at the end of the season? Whose signing will have the bigger impact? Will it be Gabriel Jesus at Arsenal, or will it be Richarlison at Tottenham Hotspur?
God. I'm gonna say Richarlison, because not that, you know what, is not that I think Gabriel Jesus is good. I just think that Gabriel Jesus will score a lot of goals, but I don't think Arsenal will do as well as Tottenham. That's my reasoning. So I think Gabriel Jesus will have a better season, but I think Richarlison will give him that little bit of edge that they need to when, for example, they're missing players and stuff like that. So I think that smart signing by both, but I think that because Tottenham are ahead, I think that Tottenham will be more positively affected by having Richarlison in their team than Gabriel Jesus. I don't think Gabriel Jesus is enough for Arsenal to move from where they are, if I'm being honest.
I hear you. I hear you. I think that's a smart way of doing it. Obviously, transfer window's not closed, so we will revisit that. I believe that Jesus will have the bigger impact in terms of what he does for Arsenal Football Club. But in the end, I do agree with you. I still think right now, when we look at the two squads, I still think Spurs finish above them. But I think Gabriel Jesus is the better signing in terms of what was needed. I think that when you put the two players, even if you put the two players against each other and just forget about who they signed for, I still say Gabriel Jesus is the better player. I think he's better technically. I think he's got the better finishing. And I think he suits a variety of different systems. Whereas I think with Richarlison, if you're not on that shithousery, bro, I don't think he has the same effect. But in saying that, bro, he seems to do something because, as you said, he's ahead of Gabriel Jesus in the Brazil team. So he obviously does something, and that's no disrespect to Richarlison. It's just preference and what I believe with the eye test, who's going to have the bigger impact. But we shall find out, bro. As I said, transfer window's not closed yet. But at this moment in time, I think Jesus has the better impact, but Spurs will still finish top. And I think Richarlison will have a big say in that, especially if Sugarcane were to get injured. But we move on from North London, bro. We've got to move on from North London to Juventus, bro, because it has been put down that Labiel has agreed to a 4-year deal at Juventus, subject to medical and official signing, which I think he's being looked at to be unveiled on Monday. I think he's going to have a medical over the weekend, and Monday he will be announced. Along with that, Di Maria has said to have a 1-year deal in the pipeline as well, subject to medical and all that stuff as well. I'm very excited. I am very, very excited. Labiel, obviously, as people know, that's my guy. That's my baller. In terms of Labiel, personally, I would have liked him to go elsewhere. When I say elsewhere, I mean Spain, just to challenge himself even more. Because I don't think Juve are anywhere near challenging for the Champions League. Obviously, depending on what other signings we make, we could challenge for the league. But I'm happy that he's here. I think he has a point to prove because of how bad it went for him at United. It's a place where he's loved. It's a place that he knows. It's a place where he knows his family will be settled and he'll be happy to play his football. And I think he'll have a massive impact on the team, because when you look at it now, that will be a midfield three of Locatelli, Zakaria, and Paul Pogba, bruv. I think that's a very good midfield. Obviously, Locatelli keeps it simple, keeps the ball moving. Zakaria is that box-to-box midfielder, and obviously Labiel's got that star quality. And in front of him, he'll have Di Maria one side, Chiesa the other, Vihalovic through the middle. So it's look at brother. I don't understand why we haven't got rid of Morata yet. I really don't. It's really annoying me that he's still at the club, but it is what it is. But bro, what do you think about that? What do you think about Pogba going to Juve, bro?
Boy, I wish he would have gone somewhere else. If I'm being very honest, it's a good signing for Juventus, and with the way you've named your midfield, they all complement each other, which is a very important thing. But I'll be real. No offense to your team, he's better than Juventus at the moment.
Yeah, 100.
Like he should be. It should have been Real Madrid or PSG, man. For me, Real Madrid probably.
I think.
But then with Real Madrid again, they've already spent money on Camavinga and Tchouaméni.
Tchouaméni, yeah. They're looking at the future.
They're looking at the future. However, he should have gone to a bigger club, man. I understand you. He's basically, in a way, doing what he did with Man United, loyalty. And don't get me wrong, yeah, Juventus are a much better run club than Man United. But I think he needs to challenge himself, man. I think he needs to be in that environment where he's with ballers. Like, don't get me wrong, Juventus, you got ballers, but
it's nowhere near.
I see with him, I'm always putting Pogba up there, at that elite level. He was playing for Real Madrid or the PSGs of this world, bro. He'd be cooking, because I always say this because look how much they treat him well in the French team. And these are superstars, and they look up to him, and he always performs well for them, more often than not. So I'm thinking to myself, you need to be with ballers on your wavelength. However, it's like a couple of steps up from Man United, which is good for him. He'll have players. He won't be with McTominay and them man anymore. He'll be with players around his IQ, if you understand what I mean. So
quality, there's good quality there.
Quality there, yeah. So I do, but also he's going to be aware now the league it's not going to be the same as when you were there. You're not going to be dominating because, as you said, Inter bought pretty well.
AC
Milan bought really well. You got not Napoli. So you got them two clubs there that are dangerous, and they will definitely challenge you for the league. So it's going to be very close and very difficult to win. But yeah, no, you should be excited as a Juventus fan. Pogba is a great signing. Di Maria is a great signing.
No, so listen, I can't complain. Look, I completely agree with you. I'm very surprised that he didn't go to PSG. I don't know why that didn't happen. I'm perplexed at that one because I thought that was a done deal. The only thing I can think of is that he genuinely just wanted to go to Juve. For all the people that would be, because I know what's going to come next. ST, whilst we're talking about this, people are going to be like, and I'll shout people out. The rashes of this world will be like, no one wanted him. He turned down Pep. Pep wanted him at City, and he said no as a loyalty to Manchester United. Look it up. Do your research. I know you like to keyboard type and all that, so go and do it. And you'll find out he did turn down Manchester City. That just goes how much Pep rates him. But he's not good enough. He's not world class. So, but anyway, people, if you're getting a little bit confused, there was a debate earlier in the group, and like we're gonna have this Paul Pogba debate properly. But I just had to put people in their place because their argument wasn't making sense. And that's not me throwing shade. That's just what happened. ST there, he can tell you that I was arguing one point and someone else was coming back with 5 different points that didn't make sense. But we will have that Paul Pogba debate at some point because it's but ST, I'm not even joking, bro. Like, it's infuriating because it's like, as I said, I've had this argument with the truth all the time. And the one thing, we just have to agree to disagree. I don't mind agreeing to disagree. We're not always going to agree on everything. That's not a problem.
No, of course.
Just make your argument make sense, bro.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. That's all I want.
Sense. I understand where he's coming from in a sense. Cooking
of course.
Makes sense sometimes, but he's reckless.
Bro, I sat there and I was just like, bro, like... But anyway, we're not going to get into that, people. That debate will happen at some point in the near future. But... yeah, with Pogba, I wish he would have went to a bigger club. He didn't. I think he's doing it for comfortability. the fact that his family's settled, the fact that he knows the club and he just wants to, bro, the key thing is he wants to be playing football and he wants to be happy. That's the main thing more than anything else. And if that's what he has at Juventus, then so be it. If he wants to build a club up from the bottom up, then so be it. I'm happy for him. And bringing in Di Maria, obviously Di Maria being of a certain age, but the one thing I will say is in Serie A, you can bring in them 33-year-old players and they can still bang because of the way how the league is. So I think Di Maria is a decent signing for us. Obviously, Chiesa got that long-term injury. He will be back, which I'm happy about. Hopefully, he can hit the ground running when he comes back. So I'm happy with the way things are going, especially with losing Dybala on a free. Obviously, Chiellini's gone as well. Apparently, we're being linked with Koulibaly. I want to keep a hold of De Ligt, but it looks like he's going because I would love to see De Ligt and Koulibaly in the same team.
That would complement each other very well.
Exactly, but it looks like De Ligt is trying to force his way out, which is unfortunate. But bro, it is what it is. What can you do? But hopefully, all the best for Labille. We will come back to him at some point, people. But he is on his way to Juventus. Finally, ST, the last transfer that we need to talk about, Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich.
So happy for him.
So happy for him. Going over to Bayern Munich. Is it 3 year or 4 year? 3-year deal to Bayern Munich, bro. I think it is smart business from Bayern Munich. I think with Sadio Mane, I think it's good for him because he probably wanted a change of scenery. But bro, what do you think about this deal, bro? And you said you're happy about it. Why are you happy about it?
I'm so happy. They don't respect him there. I'm telling you straight now, and I have to be honest, Sadio Mane did what he did at the second half of the season. Did very well for Senegal. Got them through. Helped win the African nations. Beat Egypt again to go through to the World Cup. The only guy that I see, even though Liverpool, I don't think they're a big time team, not performing the big matches. He always performs. He scored a goal in last year's final. Not last year's final, the other final where they were playing with Real Madrid. He always turns up in the bigger games with his performances. A certain someone doesn't do that, but yet they're giving him 40.
Don't say certain someone. Call his name, bro. You're the one that gave him that name. Call him it, bro.
Mo Salah, the guy won.
Nah. His name, bro. Call him by his name, the name that you gave him, bro.
Fraud.
Nah, bruv. Bruv, you know what I'm talking about, bruv.
Oh, the Pyramid Penman.
Yeah, bruv. Call him by his name, bro.
Yeah. The Pyramid Sean Wright Phillips, yeah? It's no disrespect to Sean Wright Phillips. That's my guy. So let me not disrespect him like that, But yeah, bro, he's dead. He's and what it is, and the reason why I can't stand Liverpool for it and why Mane's frustrated. Mane doesn't, I'll be honest, Mane isn't someone that sells loads of shirts worldwide. So it doesn't make financial sense for them to keep him. Whereas Salah is big in Egypt, in the Middle East. They love him there.
He's a massive commodity, bro.
But in terms of performances, Mane has been better than Salah, especially in the second half of the season. And for a lot of the time at Liverpool. But because Salah has scored so many goals, people don't see it. And it's what infuriates me. And this is what must have infuriated him, I feel really, really bad for him. Like, they didn't respect him. Even when Senegal won the African Nations Cup, it was like, yes, he won, but we really wanted Salah to win. They were all consoling him. Nobody was congratulating him and all this stuff like that. And I'm looking at him, I'm just like, you lot are taking the piss. If I'm Sadio Mane, I'd be so vexed. So vexed. Absolutely so vexed. Because it's like, yes, I understand you need to be impartial to Salah, you cheer him up and all that stuff, but there was no respect. Other clubs were bigging him up. Even man like, what's it called? I remember looking at Bayern Munich, I think Malang Sarr, what's his name? Bruno Sarr or someone.
Yeah, one of them.
He got treated like a king there, and he don't even play for. He don't even.
I don't think he rarely played.
He really played, and they respected and said, "Oh, well done," all this stuff like that. There was nothing like that for Mane. Just a few handshakes.
Bruv, if Mo Salah would have won the African Cup of Nations, yeah, there would have been
Oh,
a parade through Liverpool, bro.
oh,
There would have been a parade through Liverpool about him winning the African Cup of Nations, putting Egypt on his back and
yeah,
taking them to the promised land, bruv.
yeah.
Mane, luckily, bruv, I don't even know if he got a party popper when he
No, he
came back
didn't.
to Liverpool. It is an utter disgrace. It is disgraceful the way that he was treated at Liverpool.
Exactly.
And I can completely understand. Look, at the end of the day, when you look at the amount of goals that Mo Salah has scored, you have to respect it. I don't rate
Yeah.
him as a football player. I don't think he's that good. I don't think that he brings a lot to the table. It's just that he suits a system under Klopp, right? And Klopp has gotten the best out of him.
Of
But
him.
we've
Yeah.
seen in many a cup final that this guy is completely missing. We saw in the second half of the Premier League season, missing.
Missing.
However, you have to respect that he got the amount of goals he got in the first half of the season because he still finished top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got to respect it. The amount of goals that he scored for Liverpool, you have to respect it. I have no issue with Liverpool fans giving him his plaudits, singing his name,
Yeah, of course.
chanting for him, and glorifying their player. What people need to realize is that they need to respect Sadio Mane, right? Because it was only until Mane was like, I'm not signing a new deal, that people were like, oh, Liverpool need to make sure. Bro, these people were talking about Mo Salah signing this contract from like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
But no one were talking about Mane, even though
Nobody.
Mane was
Yeah.
a massive part of why they won a Premier League title, why they won the FA Cup and League Cup last year. In the Champions League, to get to where they were, he was a massive part, right? But yet nothing gets said about Sadio Mane, bro. And this is a guy that people didn't expect a lot. What Mane achieved at Liverpool, no one anticipated and expected that. With Mo Salah, he was coming off a great season at Roma, right?
Yeah.
So probably no one expected for him to elevate himself and get the amount of goals that he did for Liverpool. But there was an expectation. With Mane, it was just like, oh, it's a good player. He could probably be a good squad player and start. Bro, he's
Yeah.
ascended all of that, prove a lot of people wrong
Mhm.
when they didn't have the interest in him. And nothing, bro. I feel like friggin' Keita gets more praise than Mane does. I think Luis Diaz has got more praise at
Already.
Liverpool than Mane has done for his whole career there. So I can't get angry when Mane
They
says,
got
you know what, bun this, bro. I'm out.
TJ. Yeah, they got basically Luis Diaz to replace him. It weren't to replace Salah. And if I'm thinking of, if I'm in my head, I'm on it like, hey, this club doesn't respect me, you know, after all the service that I've done for you. And I think Mane, barring Van Dijk, is Klopp's best signing. Klopp's best
100.
signing.
100. Van
But then
Dijk,
no one.
you probably put the top three in my eyes in terms of importance and impact. Alisson, Van Dijk, and Mane. Those are the top three for me. Then Salah comes after.
Yeah.
I think Alisson, obviously being one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Van Dijk, obviously, bro, we don't need to talk about him because we already know. And Sadio Mane, bro, I think that, bro, this is why I'm so interested. And I will eat my words because I'm very much like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I am very interested. This is to the truth because you know the truth is I'm Mo Salah fanboy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I am very interested to see if Liverpool have the same impact on the league without Mane and with Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz. I want to see if they say, bro, if we go into this season, Mo Salah finishes top goal scorer again. I hold my hands up, eat my humble pie and say, you know what? But bro, I reckon Mane has a lot to deal with what happens. And what I don't want to hear, and I do not want to hear it, oh, but they've got Haaland now. Nope, I don't care.
No.
It's not about you. Like, I'm not going to, like, if they go on this, like, say, for example, the season goes like this again, and City win it by a point or 2 points, right, then like at the end of the day, I will give Mo Salah his credit. However, if City go on and win this league by more than 10 points, bro, I'm looking at your top guy and saying, what's going on, bro? Like, what
Yeah.
happened? And
And I
if
don't
man's
care.
and I don't care about anything else. And I'm gonna be like, well, if Mane was here, would that have happened? Because a lot of people are getting gassed over Luis Diaz, and I'm like, you gotta understand that a lot of teams don't know how this guy played. He had a massive impact. Brilliant. I like him. He looks exciting. But let's see what happens this season.
Yeah.
Let's see what
We
happens.
don't know
Let's see
now.
if he can. Let's see if it is sustainable for a whole season, and we're gonna find out, bro. But I think that people saying that Mane was wrong for going to Bayern Munich. Why? Everyone's saying, oh, there's only one team in Germany. So what? There's only two
Let man
teams,
enjoy.
bro. There's only two teams in La Liga.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't say that if you went to Barcelona or Real Madrid. We
Let man
wouldn't.
enjoy.
Bruv, let man enjoy it, bruv. He's played in Germany before and he's gone back there. So,
He played in
this,
Austria, Salzburg, exactly. So let him
bro,
enjoy
but
it,
this
man.
is the thing that infuriates me, and this is why I get annoyed, bro. The Premier League is not the only league in the world. Like, if the Premier League was the only league in the world, why did Real Madrid win the Champions League last year?
And beat the
Last
two best
season.
teams in our league.
Exactly. Not the season because Chelsea won it. Season before that, who won it? Was it Bayern? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think
Bayern. It must have been Bayern because
yeah,
it was
I think it
because it was in COVID.
yeah, I think it was Bayern. So it was only two seasons ago that Bayern won the Champions League. So what's the problem? Like, people just like to say, oh, there's only one team, blah, blah, blah. Bro, if they won the Champions League only a couple of seasons ago, what's the problem? Man can go and play with, but we don't know if Lewandowski's still going to be there, but man can go and play with Gnabry, go and play with Kingsley Coman, go and play with
might be there as well.
Gnabry might be there, play with Ryan Gravenberch, who, bro, I think he went there for 15 million. Like, what were people smoking? What were people smoking? Do you know what I mean? So, like, bro, like, at the end of the day, he's decided to do this. He wants to prove a point, and he wants to see what Liverpool do without him. So, by all means, bro. And the thing is, what we need to understand is, bro, he's already won everything he needs to win here.
Yeah,
he's won everything already. Yeah. So why not go and get a new challenge and try and win? Bro, he hasn't got a Bundesliga title to his name. So let him go and do that. He hasn't got a German Cup's name.
Yeah.
Go on, bro.
What
Sorry.
I will say is, no, it's cool, bro. What I'll say is, lastly, on Mane, Salah in the forward position can only play one position, and that's on the wide forward. Mane in the second half of the season was playing in the 9 and doing bits. That's how you know the intelligence of a player, because you would never associate Mane with you playing in the 9 like that and doing bits. So that's what I'm saying. Mane has a bit more about him than Salah. I'm sorry. Like,
bro, he does. Like, my whole thing is that Sadio Mane is so much more flexible in terms of what he does and how he plays.
Yeah.
Mo Salah is, and to be fair to Mo Salah, it's with a lot of left-footed players. They only play one way, but it's so difficult to stop that one way. Do you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, don't get me wrong. It sounds look, Salah is more naturally talented than Mane. I would say, I'll be honest, he's a lot more naturally gifted. He has things that he just does out of the book. But Sadio Mane is the more intelligent footballer. Sadio Mane can play different positions. Yes, Salah is very talented, but we saw in the African Nations Cup, when you put him in the 9 for his team, even though his team wasn't great around him, and I will give him that, you still can't create. Whereas Mane, yes, Mane had good teams around him, but he was playing in the 9 himself, and he's playing against the same AFCON defenders. He's still playing against the same defenders that he's playing, Salah's playing in that, and did a better job. Again, the caveat is Senegal is a much better team than Egypt, and I'll give him that. I'll tell you that for free. However, I'm looking purely at Liverpool. We do say that they play in a system team. Salah can only play on the left or on the right.
Not even on the left, bro. He can only play on the right. Yeah. Whenever they try and play him in the 9, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Whereas Mane, the left, the right. He's played in the 10. He's played up front. The 9, which I didn't think he could play. And he's played there. So you have to look at that and how it affects the squad and maintaining that high level. And Sadio Mane has just proved what a player he is, and he's played so well for Liverpool this year's. And to be fair, again, Van Gaal, he always looks at players. He wanted Mane for a long time. He didn't want Salah. He wanted Mane, and there's a reason why. And look, he's been proved right. So,
nah, 100%, bro. And listen, Sadio Mane, you've given the Premier League some great memories. I hope Liverpool fans treat him with the respect that he deserves. And I hope this season, obviously, from a United standpoint, that Liverpool do nothing. But I hope that one thing that I do hope is that Liverpool fans realise how good he was and how much they are going to miss him. But we'll see what happens, bro. But, bro, it's time to wrap up there. It has been a jam-packed show as usual. People, let us know what you think in the comment section. Sterling's Chelsea. Do you agree or disagree? Would you want him? Do you not? The fat man going back to Inter, is that curtains for him in the Premier League? Will he bang in Serie A? Let us know what you think about Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal, Richarlison to Tottenham. Who's got the better signing? Let us know what you think about Pogba back to Juve. Is it a good signing for Juve? Has Pogba taken a step down, not from Man United, but in terms of his footballing career? Should he have gone elsewhere? And let us know what you think about Mane to Bayern Munich. Is it a good signing for Bayern Munich? Has Mane made the wrong decision in leaving Liverpool? Do Liverpool fans actually respect him and give him his plaudits? We want to hear from you. And as usual, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. As I say all the time, share. We are here. And don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. I want to say thank you very much to my guy ST for a great show. Thank you very much, sir.
No, I appreciate it, man.
People coming up. I know people have been promising the live. Don't worry, we're gonna get sorted. We're gonna get all of that last bit. It's just the last bit, people. It's literally just the last bit that we are trying to sort out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, pray for us. It will be next week that we'll be going live. Coming up, we are gonna have United talk. Unfortunately, we're gonna be talking about the transfers or lack thereof going on right now. So yeah, you can look forward to that if you want to. I wouldn't, but you can. But on a brighter note, Athletics Talk will be back next week as we look forward to the World Championships. Like ST and I are gassed for that one. So that is something to look forward to. And also, I will be jumping on to the truth because we have to get a tennis talk after the final in Wimbledon, especially if it goes the way that we're expecting it to go. So you got all that to look forward to next week, people.
This is going to be interesting, man.
I'm telling you.
That was interesting, Jeez, that guy. Anyway, let me not say anything to like. I was gonna say that him and Klopp use the same like pharmacy.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. So, people, listen. Stay safe out there. Be safe. Pray for us. Fingers crossed. We'll be live next week. And we shall see you very, very soon. Peace.